Yeah, it must be meal number 6. Um, I'm kind of familiar with these from years ago. I used to end up with them. There was a time where I had bought a bunch of them at a rummage sale. And they were from, like the National Guard would go out on maneuvers. They came supplied with a whole bunch of these. They'd never use them. They'd order pizzas and whatnot. They actually, it was on the same base that my M37 came from. Now these are newer than what I'm familiar with. Oh, nut raisin mix. That looks like a good combination. But I think the principle is the same. So we'll see what we're dealing with here. One thing I don't see, the ones that I had, all of them had this little bottle of Tabasco sauce. Apple drink, salt-free seasoning. That's the cool thing, is all the tricky little stuff. Well, this evidently is gum. Hot beverage bag. No, I hadn't seen one of those before. Yeah. Okay, here's a... Oh, but this is different too. The one I had, it was a much stiffer, like a plate. Well, this is like 4 little pouches in there. Yeah. And then what do we got? Yellow and wild rice pilaf. I don't know what a little faffer is. My beverage bag took off in the wind. Chicken fajita. One thing I don't see. Oh. Tortillas. I was looking for that. They always had these cracker things in them. French vanilla cappuccino. Huh. Well, I guess it says something about the makeup of our current military if we're putting in tortillas. But I'm surprised no Tabasco. It was always a really neat little bottle. But let's see. Yeah, I used to, like I said, I'd carry these because I had quite a few, like a dozen, maybe a couple dozen of them. And I had paid like $1 a piece for them. Because a lot of times I think when, they get them issued, and like I said, they don't use them. But a lot of the ones that I had were weird, a lot of stuff with pork in it. There was a whole lot of that. Different kinds of pork. And all very salty. Well, let's see what the chicken fajita looks like. Let's see if I can remember how to do these now. I was kind of impressed with them. I mean, they worked pretty well. Usually you're pretty much dealing with mush. Salty mush, and then you heat it up and you got hot salty mush. But if I remember right, I should pay attention here. Stir off top of the bag. And you put the damn food in. Oh yeah. It's interesting. I know the only problem I had, they give off like hydrogen or hydrogen sulfide gas as they're cooking. I don't think I'm supposed to open this thing. No, I think I cook it just like this. And the stuff can be a little corrosive. Because like I said, I used to use them in a road grader. And if you put them in the wrong place, they would tend to start a little rust going. And let's see, I fill it to do not overfill. You know, you gotta fill it to something. It must be between these lines. Boy, I thought it took more than that. Yeah. Well, that's good if they don't take a lot of water. Well, do not overfill, which I did. Okay, now we're between the lines. Oh. You know, fairly complicated. I'm sure, you know, you use a bunch of them and you get caught onto it. But they do heat up, you know, like a pure. Yeah, you can smell that gas coming out. You know, it's an interesting idea. I don't know that, you know, people always buying for like camping and stuff. I don't know that I would do that. You know, let's take a look at what these tortillas are. You know, I always thought some little crackers were a good thing, and then you usually had something to spread on your little crackers. No, we got these things. Not too impressive, and pretty much don't have a smell to them at all. Well, alrighty. Well, the nut raisin mix, that might be the kind of thing that people would open them up and take out. Well, okay, but I can see right now these are like the freeze-dried kind of things. I suppose I got to get all the oil out of them, or it'll go rancid. No, they are not a taste treat. I suppose there's nutrition there, but not much for flavor. And the cheese spread is a little confusing in that if you don't have the crackers, what do you do with the cheese spread? We actually get cooking hot. I don't remember. I think it's like 4 minutes. No. This stuff looks like some hard little stuff. And I don't know that this must be something to heat up too. I would think. Yeah, it should be. Ooh. I don't know what a laugh is though. Huh? Rice, wild rice, vegetable oil, corn or soybean oil, spice blend, onion spices, just carrots, green peas, mushrooms, and salt contain soil. I'm sure it's not my kind of food though. I think these things, they're gonna, I should have probably put these in and heat these up. They look horrible cold. Take a look at the cheese spread. Yeah, pretty much cheese whiz. But I don't know about the no cracker deal. Instant apple flavored drink mix. Dryer. A cup of water. This isn't an actual military one, this is a reproduction that's done in stainless, which, pretty good. Then it's got the little stove type deal. And I do have, they make a little stainless cover that goes over the top of the cup. Well, you sure end up with a lot of rubbish, And at the end of the day, I should cook this stuff at the same time. Oh, I think she's about done. Well, it's drinkable, but there you go. Real treat. But I'd have to say, the one day, those, what are they called? Those, keep thinking molten something or other. Those freeze-dried little bags of crap they make for hiking. Mountain House, is that the name? Brandon sent some of them, and I've tried a few of them. There again, it's pretty much, you end up with mush. The one thing I could tell on this thing, I can feel that the chicken has some texture to it. Throw this other thing in and get the last heat out of that. I thought they took more water than that, but that might be this new design. Because the old design, like I say, it was like a metal plate don't know if I'll be able to eat that though. Well, we got hot chicken. Is that called? Fajita. Well, it says fajita filling, so evidently this is something you're supposed to put on these things. Well, let's see. Man, I should want to tear it. Ooh. A little shutter there. Yeah, these things aren't. I was making these the other day. Some of the, I've got horrible looking stuff. But there are chunks in here. I know I had one time that had au gratin potatoes in, and that was fairly good. There's some of them that they're all right, but the biggest disappointment the one time there was one that said hot dogs. Oh, it was nothing but Vienna sausages. Horrible. Ooh, this looks horrible on this side. Well, she ain't something I would cook. And these little tortillas ain't really doing the trick. But there are hunks of chicken in there. And it is a warm meal. But a lot of those spices that ain't up my alley. Not horrible, but I wouldn't want to. Well, I guess, if you had, it's better than nothing, but I can see why when them, like I say, the National Guard, when they go on maneuvers, they don't use them. But they always bring them along because they are issued to women. Well, I guess she's edible. And I guess that's all that matters. Well, I should be using the actual utensil that they sent with the thing. Once we'll get down into the bag. Well, it has pretty big chunks of chicken in that. So it ain't the normal, she's got some texture. It ain't the normal tendency to run to mush. Well, okay. Well, I would sure hate to have to live, I don't know. And I take it these are gum, but the old ones used to come with a little box of, chiclets. It was the brand name stuff. So I think they're putting in more of the generic instead of the brand name. Let's see what this vanilla cappuccino is like. Because you can have her hot or cold. Try her cold, see if it even mixes cold. Ooh. But there again, maybe not a no. No, she's a little reluctant to mix, but that isn't surprising. Well, she's gradually going together. But you do end up with, you know, little unmixed portions. Maybe should have added more water. She's got quite a bite to her. Not bad. It would be refreshing. I do miss some little crackers though. But I open this thing up, I'm gonna have to eat these Vaquitas. I've had worse though of the MREs. The saving grace is that there is chunks of chicken in it. Well, I can take a look at that rice. Boy, I betcha wherever our military goes, when they leave, it's gotta be a horrible mess of this stuff. Actually, I think they got in trouble for that. In some of them countries, the area around the bases are so full of rubbish from all this kind of stuff. Trying to keep the wind off the camera, but oh, this feels like a lukewarm block of mush. No, I think they used to, when some of them had like peaches and that sort of thing. Ooh. No, it ain't up my alley. But like I said, I'm not a big rice eater. You know, so much for that.